Throughout the world, wherever there's been major investments in public transit, there's typically very strong economic growth which follows suit.
In this world, being connected is productivity. If you lose your mobility, you're going to have serious problems being competitive. And that's where I think that investment in public transportation, not just in our largest centers, but in many of our centers, is going to be important.
It allows people the flexibility to not only move about in the community, but to contribute to the community.
Quand on regarde aussi dans l'ensemble de nos sociétés de transport, le nombre d'emplois qui sont générés par ces services-là, c'est pas négligeable. On regarde dans notre entreprise, on a environ 750 emplois. Donc, c'est l'économie qu'on fait rouler aussi dans notre région avec l'ensemble de ces services-là qu'on offre à la population.
On voit tout de suite les investisseurs qui sont intéressés de s'installer, des nouveaux projets, élargissement, rénovation, nouvelles constructions.
That $138 million investment is still circulating around in our economy because we used local designers, whether it be engineers or architects or landscape architects, use mostly local companies to actually build it, and a lot of local suppliers, but where we didn't have the local suppliers, they've been other Canadian suppliers.
When we talk about investments and return on investment for transit, we talk about global competitiveness in North America with the movement of labor, the attractiveness of a city. We always look at the keystone cities across the world like Paris and New York City, that their transit systems are a real part of the urban fabric. It's part of the competitiveness of those cities. When you go there, you can't help but ride them. They're like an institution. So we look at, if we want to be competitive in the world market, these are the playing surface we need to work on.
A lot of the businesses that we have coming in today, that we're seeing in our region, there's a lot of software development, animation, high tech. That generation of people that are coming in that want to do that work really don't want to have to depend on an automobile.
If we're going to attract the best talent, we need to have the best amenities, and one of which that people look forward to is a transit system. Plus, some of the expertise that we're drawing now are from cultures that are very used to having a good transit system. That's their way to get around.
Si on va continuer d'augmenter l'achalandage, et notre plan stratégique d'ici 2020 part d'aller de 405 millions à 540 millions, il y a des grands défis. Il y a deux défis majeurs. La première est d'avoir l'argent pour augmenter les services dans le budget opérationnel, mais le deuxième, également important, l'équipement qu'on exploite doit être moderne, convenable, confortable et fiable.
The Canadian transportation industry is very strong, whether it be in suppliers of equipment or in consulting expertise or in doing innovative things in transportation, and there's a huge market for that elsewhere in the world. And to the degree that we can further develop that expertise in our country, it's exportable and a source of national revenue for us.
Definitely, I think we need a long-term, reliable, predictable funding stream. We need something that's going to address the future requirements of the vehicles. We need to have the capital investment that is there to be able to do some long-range planning. We need to have measures that define our performance, that makes us accountable.
You can't budget if you don't know what kind of dollars you have. And with the growth that we're experiencing, we need to know how much money we're getting from the federal government to be allocated to transit in order to budget.
As cash flows vary by government, you can slow down a little bit or you can speed up a little bit. But you have to have a certain level of sustained funding in order to really plan out your future. Well, I think the federal government is starting to realize the importance of that investment in keeping the overall Canadian economy strengthened. And I think as that awareness comes in, I think in the longer term the federal government will actually create a sustained program going forward.
Certainly the province has a role to play, certainly municipalities have always had a big role to play, but we do need the federal government to ensure that across this country that we meet the needs of you know, the people living within urban areas.
It's not going to be a competition. It's not a competition between cities. It's not a competition between governments trying to get the last dollar. It's about all of us thinking through what are our needs, not asking for more than what we need, and then being accommodating and working so that we can all make the right investments and we can see economic activity happen across the country. That's going to be good for all cities. Hopefully the senior government has been listening. We know they've done a lot for Canada in the last decade. They're interested in doing more. They're working hard to develop the future programs of infrastructure. And I think that's going to be really important for us to be able to be in that position to work with Government Canada and our provincial governments to fulfill the promise that people are demanding of us.